Hello, I'm Edward Tarte, formerly a Catholic priest, now an atheist, which simply means that I now find no credible evidence for the existence of any God. In this video I am speaking to anyone who will listen, but I am speaking especially to believers in the biblical God, the author of the Bible, all-knowing, all-powerful, creator of all things, unchanging, the same, past, present, and future, whom you worship as your loving Heavenly Father, the personification of all goodness and righteousness. Now, I do not believe in your God or any God, but in order to communicate with you, I will refer to your biblical God. In this video, I will try to consolidate some key ideas from other videos of mine, and I will try to build my chain of ideas not so much on what separates you and me, but on some things of our minds and hearts that we have in common, that we agree about. To begin, you and I agree that slavery is morally wrong. Your biblical God endorses slavery. That means something that may be for you a very jarring concept. You and I are morally superior to your God. Here then is the central theme of this video. You worship a God who is your moral inferior. You and I agree that rape is morally wrong. Your biblical God endorses rape. You and I agree that sexism against women is morally wrong. Your God is sexist against women. Again, you and I are morally superior to your God, whom you worship. You and I agree that to kill an animal, say a sheep or a deer, and burn it as an act of worship is utterly disgusting, makes no sense whatsoever, and is morally repugnant. Your biblical God of the Old Testament liked this kind of worship, animal sacrifice, and you believe that your God does not change what he does or does not like. The Bible, which you believe he authored, says that he liked the odor. Whether we take this literally or figuratively, your God is morally repulsive. You and I are morally superior to him. You and I agree that murder is morally wrong, most especially so if it is mass murder. Your God is a mass murderer. You and I agree that torture, whether prolonged or for only a brief duration, is morally wrong. Your biblical God, creator of all things, created hell, a place which he oversees and where he authorizes severe, continuous torture forever for untold millions of people. The evidence is overwhelming. You and I are morally superior to your biblical God, and that is, in fact, the understatement of all understatements. You worship a God who is your moral inferior. You contribute perhaps a substantial part of your money to support your church, to pay the salaries of your pastor and his associates who lead you in this worship of your moral inferior. You go to church regularly and with your fellow believers log a staggering amount of precious time worshiping this morally inferior being. This is time and money that you and your fellow believers could divert to worthwhile uses, such as relieving human suffering, finding cures for diseases, solving the huge problems that our planet faces. You send your children to Sunday school to be deluded into thinking that your God is a God of love, so that they will continue to worship as you do from generation to generation. You are perhaps terrified by the most evil of all religious doctrines, hell, and you pass this terror to your children. Does any of this worship that you direct to your morally inferior God make sense? The time may be at hand for you to begin examining your religious beliefs critically. I was a believer with a very strong religious faith. The time came when I examined my beliefs critically. Maybe you also can examine your beliefs critically. In examining your beliefs, the criterion is evidence. And if that idea is foreign to you, as it may well be, watch my video, Evidence versus Faith. To all you viewers, thank you for watching this video.